Oh, okay. All right. Well, Rock What You Got continues right now. And joining me is my guest, Teresa Thomas. She is creator of 50 Fun Things. She is also a 2019 50 over 50 recipient. So congratulations on that and welcome.
Thank you, Diana. It's great to be here with you again.
And I love the fact that I had a chance to interview you last year to talk a little bit about 50 Fun Things. So let's start with that. How did you create 50 Fun Things?
Well, 50 Fun Things actually started when I was feeling not so fun about life. And I created it just for myself to turn some things around. I made a list of 50 things that I wanted to experience in the coming year when I had turned 50. And I had no idea that it was going to influence people beyond myself. What happened for me was I suddenly had things to look forward to. It helped me get through my anxiety. It helped me feel more connected and grateful, and gave me clarity. And so since that time, I've opened it up and done workshops. I have a workbook, a new small book, Enjoy the Small Things. And it all was because I was using joy as my own resiliency tool. And since that time, I've learned just how critical joy is for giving people hope and keeping us moving forward and staying connected with each other.
And I love the fact that you had a joyful pillow that was part of your book release, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. But how is 50 Fun Things helping people now, and how is it being used as a tool as they were experiencing COVID-19?
Yeah, well, as far as how people are dealing with COVID-19, I've been hearing from people that I don't know that are finding me, who are saying, one woman wrote to say, I keep dashing my joy. This current pandemic is not helping at all. And I just need some things that I can feel joyful about in my day-to-day life. So as a very purpose-driven person, I'm putting out there in every way I can, through Facebook Lives, through virtual happy hour on Fridays, ways for people to stay connected, share some of the joys that they're having in their life, even if they're really small, even if it's just, oh, my daughter said thank you for making her lunch today. Those little things are what keep us going.
Little things. I definitely agree with that. So you are offering online help right now, correct?
I am. So like many of the guests at Rock What You Got, being somebody who typically does things in person, I'm suddenly looking at like, okay, how do I stay in my purpose of connecting people to each other and their joy when we're not able to do that in person? So I'm jumping into the online world and experimenting with that. I'm trying Zoom, I'm trying Facebook Live. And in that, the fun things that I've been doing is I did a Facebook Live on 50 fun ways to find fun things that you can do when you're cooped up inside. And we ended up coming up with 127 ideas from that Facebook Live. And so I put it on the blog, 50funthings.com blog. Mm-hmm. And then I did another one on 50 fun things to keep our bodies happy when we can't get out. And I'll do another one on Tuesday, 50 fun things to make your home a haven. So I'm just going to keep offering these free Facebook Lives to have people share their ideas, stay connected. And then the other thing that I started doing was a happier hour that's on Fridays at 4 p.m. Central Time. And if you go to the website and go to the event page, you'll see all the details for the Zoom link. And it's just been a way for us to connected for 1 hour to just not talk about the pandemic, which shall not be named, and just be present and share those small joys that we're experiencing with each other.
Mm-hmm. I think when we go and we have the happier hour, I think a lot of people, they'll probably want to have a way to express their anxiety and their fears. And kind of once they kind of get that out, though, then you can kind of move on to everything else.
Right.
And especially if you're by yourself, you might not have had a chance to express that to somebody else. And when you have a chance on Zoom, it's like, oh, it's another person. Yay.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And I call it a happier hour because none of us are feeling really happy right now. But just when we can look at those things that are working for us, or the opportunities that are presenting themselves that we might not have had otherwise, like being able to dive in and take care of some things that we've been wanting to do, or that quality time with our loved ones, or seeing things with new perspectives. Those are the things that help us to shift and cope and connect.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things I know that you do is you tape groups with you, different places. And so let's talk about that. You hugged a sequoia tree?
Yo, yeah, that was a road trip that I did. And so, so even though it's 50 fun things, I've actually come up with way more than 50 fun things for my life in the last couple of years. And one of the things is hug a tree. Well, then on a road trip and we were at Sequoia National Forest, I'm like, well, what better thing than to hug a really, really enormous ancient tree? And one of the things that I've noticed is when you are intentional about the things that you want to experience in your life, when the opportunities present themselves, you really take it in and you're fully present and you have that sense of gratitude for like, wow, I get to be here with this amazing tree versus just, oh, here's a photo op, just really, really soaking it all in.
And I'm sure the tree hadn't been hugged before, so that's good too.
Oh, I think the tree's been hugged plenty. But yeah, okay. I bet. It was in a pretty popular area, so I think that particular tree had lots of hugs. Yeah, maybe I should have sought out some trees that needed some lonely trees. I'll do that next time.
Like a Charlie Brown tree. You've also taken groups of people over to Italy. So now I'm curious, what are your friends over in Italy sharing with you as they struggle through their times?
Yes. So I've been facilitating workshops through Radiant Jane retreats. They're led by Jane Reeves. And so she's done over 20 retreats in Tuscany, Italy. So she's very, very connected with Fattoria del Colle, the woman-owned winery where the retreat takes place. And she said that the news she's getting is that people are really coming together as communities and looking out for each other. That it's a really very hard and traumatic time, but the beauty of it is they're finding ways to stay connected. Jane was the very first person who I heard from that a lot of people were coming out onto their balconies and singing or playing music or dancing together and sharing news and finding ways that they wouldn't have to be so isolated just by coming outdoors and talking to each other. And so I thought that was a beautiful thing that wouldn't happen otherwise. So we're getting creative about the ways that we connect and express the positives in our lives.
Mm-hmm. And also now you also have a book out. So tell me about that.
I do. Can I show you how cute it is? Look
yes.
how cute.
Look,
it's so little.
It matches your logo right behind you. It's amazing how that works. It's perfect.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
So yes, it's called Enjoy the Small Things. And so it's a book that came about when in the past couple of years, once I started 50 Fun Things, I've been paying attention to what are the little things that I personally do and that I'm finding work for other people to just be a quick little day lifter, turn your mood around, give you a new perspective. And so for the last couple of years, I just started taking note about what those things were and noticing which ones I was really using. And then I compiled, I reduced them down to a list of 50. And for each little fun, simple idea, I have an action step to make it so that people can really do those things and not just think about them. And then a reflection for, well, how did that feel for you? How did that turn your day around? And the ways that people are using it are, some people are saying that they randomly will open to a page and see what speaks to them. Others are being intentional and going through a page a day or a page a week. Others are using it to connect and talk with their family members or friends about making sure that they're being intentional about joy. And then the other thing that's been fun about this is people are giving this as gifts to be a way to brighten somebody else's day or to celebrate or to help each other to find those joys and hopes, especially at this time.
Yeah, we all need a little hope, especially at this time.
Definitely.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us. All kinds of fun things happening.
Yes.
50 fun things, it sounds like. And so just as we wrap up here, how can people find you? What's the best way to find out where you're going to be and how to get engaged in all of the things that you're doing?
Yeah, the best place to go is the website, and it's just the number 50funthings.com. And you'll find the blog that has some stories. It's got that great list of what to do when you're cooped up inside. And it has a shop where you can find the book and other tools like the workbook and chart. And so lots of different things to get you diving in and being intentional about the joy in your life.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Wishing you 50 plus fun things on this weekend and the weeks ahead. And just letting people know that you'll probably be joining again the Rock What You Got Expo
I
when we
will.
finally get back in person all together again.
I will. That will be so wonderful. And in that, I will guide people to see all the different resources they have at the expo and how they can use those to rock what they got in their lives.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.